Hey guys, it's Mackenzie and Louise here, and we're gonna teach you how to contour and highlight your face like a queen. All right, so step one, we have to, of course, prime our face. No makeup sets well if it's not primed. I'm using the Fenty primer, which is my favorite because I use Fenty foundation, but I ran out, so today I'm gonna be using MAC. The next step is the literal key to being able to see your highlighter from space. You want to put a little liquid highlighter on before you put on your foundation and right after you've put on your primer. I like to put it where I'm going to end up putting my foundation. So I put it on my cheekbones, on my nose, and then right on my Cupid's bow. Next, you're going to want to take your foundation and potentially a beauty blender or your favorite foundation brush. Beauty blenders are my current fave right now just because I like how bouncy and squishy they get when they're wet. When putting on your foundation, one of the key things to remember is you always want to make sure that you bring it down to your neck, and you also want to cover your ears because you don't want your ears to be a different color than the rest of your face. It's kind of a clear giveaway. After we have finished our foundation and we let it set for a few seconds, I like to come in with a contour stick. Sometimes contouring can be a little intimidating. Couldn't think of the right word. So one of the things I like to do is take a brush and go to my contour stick and brush from the top of the contour stick to get it directly on the bristles instead of putting the contour stick directly on my skin. I like to start from where my cheekbone is, right in the middle of my face, to where if I went like this, it goes in, and start from the top of my hairline right here and brush outward. That way it looks a little bit more natural and it doesn't look like you have a hard line in the middle of your face. You want to do a little bit at a time until you've built up a nice little line for yourself. Once you've gotten your cheekbones a little bit, you want to bring it up just a little bit towards the top of your forehead along your hairline. Just so it blends a little bit. I don't put any additional product on my brush for this part. I just kind of take whatever I have left over on there. And then I, of course, bring it down into where we've been applying the contour stick. If you want to outline your jawline, what I suggest is getting another side of your brush that doesn't have enough product on it, or just a different brush altogether. Take a little bit of it and then go right underneath, really lightly. The trick is to create a shadow but not a hard line. If you feel like you need a little bit more on the middle of your cheeks, you just keep adding it. One of the things that I like best about doing it this way is that you're able to layer on it. You don't want to start heavy and then go, oh crap, and try to lighten it up. You always want to start light and then go heavy. If you feel like you've messed up a little, which I think I got a little bit right here that I don't want, take your beauty blender or your brush that you use your foundation for and just kind of buff it out. And you have no more mistake. Next, I like to do my bronzer as a way of highlighting as well. And I take a powder now instead of a liquid. So I'm done with all liquids. I kind of do the same thing that I did before, bringing it from my hairline out. I also like to put a little bit on my nose. Not too much, because you don't want to look like you've been staring to the sun for 1,000 hours, but just enough where you look a little bronzed. Finish by brushing your leftover product just on the tops of your cheeks. And so you're done with your just basic contour with your bronzer. The next is the most important, and that is your highlighter. So we've done the liquid highlighter, which you put on in the same place that you would put your powdered highlighter on right before your foundation. And we finish with our powdered highlighter. I like to use this MAC highlighter because it's super, super bright. I take a little fan brush, really heavily coat my brush, but also I love highlighter. And then I start on the tops of my cheeks and bring it upward towards my eyebrow and just like make a little L. I do that to the other side. And then of course, you have to do the bridge of your nose and your little Cupid's bow. The last thing, the very last thing we're gonna do is we're gonna take some setting powder and we're gonna use it to cut the creases of our face and to bake under our eyes. So I take another beauty blender, I usually use a different one that's dry, and I just dab right under my eyes. I tend to have oily eyes, so I always have to have extra stuff to make sure that my makeup doesn't go all the way down. Put that there, and then take your beauty blender, put some powder on it as well, and cut your crease right here to make it a little bit more dramatic of a contour. Once again, you're gonna wanna start from your hairline and work your way out. I let that set for a few seconds, and then I take just a regular brush and then I wipe off the excess. You finish by doing your brows, which Krista taught us to do earlier, and then putting on some lip gloss, and then you're all set. Ta-da! Now you're highlighted and contoured, and you're so sharp that you look like you could cut glass. And we are all set. Thanks for tuning in.